So we're going to get right into the quarterbacks here. And obviously, this is a group that, quite frankly, is good. There's going to be people that have some pretty strong opinions on it. And you got a lot of big names here, obviously, as well. So let me first tell you how we do the scoring system in this whole thing, how we're coming to who has the best in each group. So what we did is we ranked the quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks 1 through 4. We did the backups 1 through 4. You get 4 points for first place, 3 for second, 2 and 1. Twice the amount of points for starters as for backups. That way, who your starter is matters a lot more than who your backups are. So I'm going to give you guys worst to best. Worst, and I hate to say it, guys. I really do. It's the New York Giants. Russell Wilson, obviously the presumptive starter, barring any kind of crazy situation here. But I'd be shocked if he's not. 11 games last year, 73.7 completion percentage, 2,482 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a 95.6 QB rating, 43 rushes for 155 yards and 2 touchdowns. Listen, guys, I think if you look at what's going on here with Russell Wilson, again, massive upgrade for what we had at Daniel Jones. Massive upgrade. Still not a great quarterback, though, guys. Let's be very frank. He's going on his third team now in 3 years. He's, 4 or 5 years removed from being considered an elite quarterback. His days over in Seattle. But again, he's a competent quarterback. So it's like he gets last place, but I feel like in a lot of divisions, he would not be considered the worst quarterback in that division. If you just run up and down the divisions, there's plenty of divisions that you'd be like, okay, he's not last. He's not first, maybe second to last, but there's a lot of divisions like that. So again, I think a definite improvement, but I think he definitely qualifies as the 4th best starting quarterback in this division here. 3rd best, Dak Prescott. So listen, guys, look at an off year for him. 8 games last year, 64.7 completion percentage, 1,978 yards, 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and an 86 QB rating, 13 rushes or 54 yards and a touchdown. Look, I do think that Dak Prescott's not a horrible quarterback. I think he's overrated by a lot of Cowboys fans because of the postseason issues. You got to include that as part of it there. But let's be honest. Most teams would take a Dak Prescott style quarterback. I hate to say, positive things about a Cowboy here, but it's the truth. I'm trying to be impartial here, trying to give you guys it like it is. If he was to be a free agent right now, every single team that needed a quarterback this offseason would have been going, okay, what it would take to get Dak Prescott, Giants included. And that's just the nature of the beast and what he is there. Again, big time choker in the playoffs. Has not at all performed well. But in the regular season, he's been definitely an above average, not elite, but above average quarterback for most of his career there. Now, leaves us with the 2 big names here. As far as the quarterbacks here, Jayden Daniels in Washington, Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia, and I think this one's going to get us a lot of hate. To be honest, by certain groups. Let's be honest here. There's people that just love the guy that's going to be number 2 here, and think he walks on water as the greatest thing since sliced bread. Said it before, I'll say it again. What I think personally is that he benefits from a lot of the help he has in this roster. Got a great offensive line, got 2 great receivers, got the best running back in all of football now, got a very good tight end, got a great defense that helps him out as well. And that's Jalen Hurts. He is listed as number 2, 68.7 completion percentage, 2,903 yards, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a 103.7 QB rating, 150 rushes, 630 yards, and 14 touchdowns rushing the ball. Crazy. He almost has as many rushing touchdowns as throwing touchdowns. That's passing touchdowns. That's just insanity. Listen, again, I don't mean it. I don't say it to hate Jalen Hurts. And I'll tell you guys again. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I got to see him in person at the Pro Bowl a couple of years ago when I went in Orlando. He spent a lot of time with the kids and all. By all accounts, he's a very nice guy. I'm not anti Hurts as a person. I'm anti him as a player right now. He's an Eagle, but I'm trying to look at this from a neutral perspective. You put most teams on that quarterback, and that's what I've said all along. Like people go, "Oh, he's elite." If you put an elite quarterback, a guy that we all hands down would say is elite right now. If we put a guy who's elite on that team, do they get better? Would the Eagles be better with Joe Burrow? Yes. Would the Eagles be better with Patrick Mahomes? Yes. Would they be better with Lamar Jackson? Debatable. But I'm also not as huge as Lamar Jackson kind of guy. Would they be better with Justin Herbert? It's possible. There's a lot of you put in a lot of the top end quarterbacks, and you could sit there and say the Eagles could be a better team with them. Now, again, I'm not saying Hurts is trash. We got him here ranked second, guys. He is a guy that somehow pulls out wins. He's a guy that, let's be honest, when he started really stinking it up there at the second half of 23, you saw how bad that team started falling apart. So I'm not trying to say it's all the team around him either. But you can't tell me, seriously, that having the best offensive line in football, the best wide receiver duo in football, the best running back in football, and a damn good tight end isn't helping him tremendously. What I need to feel like Jalen Hurts is a elite quarterback is I need to see him in a scenario without that and see what he does. Now, at one point in his career, we'll probably see it. That's just life. The offensive line, they've already had to change some people out there as they've gotten older. A.J. Brown, let's be honest. I know some people love him, some people hate him, but he's a little bit of a headache at times. It's, what point he wears welcome out there. Then you go into, a team potentially with, Jalen Hurts without some of that stuff. And obviously, Saquon, couple of years will probably not be Saquon anymore. At that point will we see Jalen Hurts have to do it without all that help? I just would like to see what would happen there before I can crown him being elite, because let's be honest, the numbers aren't elite. And there are plenty of people that are elite on that team. Again, all the people we've listed pretty much, they're elite players. 2,000-yard rusher. Consistent 1,000-yard receiver. A line that grades out tremendous. I mean, this is all there. So Jalen Hurts, again, he's not crap. I'm not trying to say that, guys. I feel like Eagles fans especially get so upset. But I do think we got to look at it and go, would he be Hurts without all the help? And I just don't think I can say that without a shadow of doubt. So I'm going to put him number 2. That leaves, of course, number 1, Jayden Daniels. And it's kind of crazy to put a guy who is coming off his rookie season as the best quarterback in this division. But, guys, look what he did last year. 69% completion percentage. He had 25 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. He had a 100.1 QB rating. Had 148 rushes for 891 yards, 6 touchdowns. I mean, guys, this is one of the best rookie quarterback seasons you'll ever see. And it's overshadowed because we've seen some crazy, stuff over the last couple of years by rookies in general. Jayden Daniels, what he did is not even short of amazing with that team. Like, really, tell me on offense what they added besides him. They still had Scary Terry at wide receiver and Brian Robinson Jr. They didn't have the guys they've added this offseason, so obviously. They really didn't have much. Austin Eckler, was that the big addition? He made this a good team. And again, we'll have to see. And that's what makes me a little nervous. Like, does the NFL as a whole try to figure out what he was doing, and do they kind of this offseason hone in on what he did and slow him down a little bit. That's a possibility. And Jalen Hurts might even leapfrog him if that happens, obviously. But just based on what they did last year specifically, Jayden Daniels, point blank, was nothing short of amazing. And I'm not too ashamed as a Giants fan to say point blank that I'm jealous. I wish we could have drafted him last year. I was a huge proponent of him. Rob was a huge proponent of him. We really liked the way he played. And unfortunately, we just didn't have the chance to get him. Washington was going to trade him to us, obviously. That would never happen without giving up like 5 years. So, like I said, I think that he is right now the best quarterback in the NFC East, and I think honestly, it's not even like a extremely close race. Is it a conversation? Yes, but it's really hard to come out with reasons to say that Jayden Daniels is not the better of the two between him and Hurts. So we got number 1, Jayden Daniels, number 2, Jalen Hurts, number 3, Dak Prescott, number 4, Russell Wilson. Now the backups is a totally different tale here. There's a lot of change in this. Number 4 is the Cowboys, guys. They have Joe Milton, who they traded with the Patriots to get this offseason. And they have Will Grier. That's it. Guys, if Dak Prescott goes down again, whoa, that is not a pretty duo. I know some people are very high in Joe Milton, what he did against second stringers in Buffalo. I'm not that impressed. So I do think that they have probably the worst backup quarterbacks in the NFC East. Then we got the third place is the Eagles. Eagles have Tanner McGee, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and Kyle McCord. Now, Kyle McCord, obviously being a rookie, is a little bit of a wild card. But I really think that you look at what they have there on that squad as backup quarterbacks, and there's not a single one that I go, okay, well, if Jalen Hurts goes down, this guy can go in and be a good quarterback. So I don't know. I don't see it. Now, again, they have all the tools around them, like we mentioned with Jalen Hurts there. So is it possible one of them could succeed and at least be adequate? Yeah, because of what they got on that roster. I just don't see it. I don't see the talent there. The second one, the Washington Commanders. Marcus Mariota is still on that roster as a backup. He's a legit backup quarterback. He's got a lot of experience. He's the guy that maybe not win you a lot of games, but he won't lose you games, and he'll keep you in it. Along with that, they have Josh Johnson, the guy who has really played for, I think, 40 different teams now, before all these different leagues and all he's been in, and Sam Hartman, the quarterback from Notre Dame. Yeah, guys, that's a decent backup quarterback room. Not too shabby at all. I mean, that's experience. That's youth. That's what you kind of want when you're looking at a backup quarterback group there. But number 1 does go to the Giants. The Giants do win this one. Because listen, it's weird to say number 1 for the Giants on a quarterback ranking here. But listen, Jameis Winston is probably the best backup quarterback in this entire group. Now, you can make the claim about Marcus Mariota potentially, and I'll give people that there's a conversation to be had there. But I think amongst the two, I think Jameis Winston is the best, the better of those two there. And I think it's somewhat close, but I do think Winston is definitely the winner. You got Jackson Dart, obviously, you got a first-round quarterback in there, plus Tommy DeVito. Now, Tommy DeVito is easily better than a Sam Hartman. He's easily, better than a Kyle McCord, you can say now, because he's got some NFL experience. Now, McCord could easily beat him out there within a couple of games on that, obviously. But as of right now, you at least know he's the guy you can put out there, and he won't lose the game necessarily. He won't win it. DeVito didn't do much of the times he's out there. I'm not a huge, DeVito fan, but as a fourth quarterback on a roster, you can do a hell of a lot worse, that's for sure. So we are giving the Giants the win on this one here. So you tally it up again. You get 4 points for first place, 3 for second, 2 for third, 4th for 1, double the points for starters. That gives you, the totals are the Commanders 11 points, the Eagles get 8 points, and the Giants and the Cowboys both tie at 5 points apiece there, guys. So we're tied for third at quarterback, I guess. That's a decent improvement of what we did last year. So
thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2 Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the Goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.